Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney, where we have the memories of the clouded the clouded heart. What?
It was a ghastly tale of a winter's night.
Also, I'm embarrassed. I know what that
One
means.
of an invisible killer and a crime perpetrated on the pavement along Briar Road.
Oh yes, murder and all that.
As the victim lay at death's door, the mystery of just who had stabbed the young lady from behind had been resolved.
Wait, yeah, this was from the first game. It was.
But no sooner had my friend saved that Eastern Exchange student from his harrowing plight,
Oh, we're going right into it.
then in the dim, flickering shadows of gaslight, did a second bizarre crime rend the stillness of that very night.
Yo, that's me! What the? I didn't do this!
I dare say most can still recall the sensational headlines of the day. Haunted apartment of death, the condemned criminal's curse, the dread demon of coal gas.
Wait, you lost me. What about Cole?
Yet, though the great detective had at once discerned the truth upon his arrival at the scene, it only proved to be the overture that announced the rising of the curtain on a most tragic play.
Alright, show of hands. Does anyone else have any idea what's going on? They are just throwing us right into the brunt of it. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a fledgling lawyer, just starting out on my journey. 6 months ago, I arrived as a visiting student of law, having made the long voyage across the sea from the Empire of Japan to here, London, England. And on the way, I'm quite extraordinary circumstances. I made the acquaintances of a famous detective. World famous. Oh goodness, we're so back. We're so back. I miss this place, man. Oh god, it looks more lively than normal though. Currently, I reside in the attic of the detective's own lodging. From where I run my legal consulting of sorts, I've successfully defended a number of clients in Britain's highest court, the Old Bailey, since a particularly grueling and unforgettable legal battle 4 months ago now, having returned to the courtroom. Wait, what? In truth, I lost my right to return. Wait, no, like, how literal is that? What, did he lose a trial? But that epic trial was just one small part of an epic tale. A tale which was now about to awaken from slumber, thanks to a letter that arrived from the homeland. That's a cherry blossom. That's Susato's thing. Dude! Oh yeah, no clients means no money, bro. Wait, my stomach just growled in real time. That's, I don't know if you heard that or not.
Wow, Johnny gets really into character.
You wouldn't even know. What a delicious smell wafting up the stairs. I must nearly be time for breakfast. Better go down to Mr. Sholm's suite and, borrow some, victuals from my roommates and say good morning to the great detective and his flatmate. Oh yeah, they're not roommates, they're flatmates. Getting my terminology mixed up. Oh goodness. Genuinely feels like I'm back home in some very strange kind of way. Not really home, but oh my goodness.
Oh, Bruno, good. I was just about to call you. The bacon's ready. Yay, it's Iris!
It smells delicious as usual, Iris. Before we eat, though, I have some news. Oh, ha ha ha! Shh! Not another word, Mr. Naruhodo. This could just be the abstruse thing from my pre-breakfast stagnation. Repelling mental stimulation, my dear fellow. Morning to you too, Sholmes. Yes. I see. So that's it. What? Huh? What are you doing? The truth is as clear to me as day. My faculties of observation have revealed it again. Yeah. Is he just like this every morning? I do wonder. What are you talking about? You, Mr. Naruhodo. You have this very morning met with a surprise. How? How'd you know? Well, is that not the case? I mean, did you deliver the letter? If that was the case. Well, my dear fellow, it barely warrants explanation. Firstly, Your hair is particularly unkempt. Someone reminiscent of a bird's nest. Secondly, you have neglected to fasten the third button on your jacket. Clearly, when considering together, these two facts point to you have been flustered this morning. Or I just woke up. I mean, I don't sit down in my perfect wardrobe to eat breakfast. Do you? Yes, I do. Well, I'm not you, okay? Can I talk now, please? Is it my turn? Oh, but of course. Though I don't look for admiration, you understand? My hair always looked like this. It's been that way since I met you. It's never changed. Oh. It has, huh? No, I think you're mistaken. And the button was ripped off last night, if you remember. You're the one that did it!
Oh, Hurley pulled your button off? Oh, goodness.
Ah, yes. I recall the incident now. It was after supper, was it not? And the evening advanced. I picked up my violin and began to play wailing notes of a haunting tune. But then, to my utter dismay, the third string snapped. Why did it have to happen? Why? Little wonder, then. That is my vexation. I grabbed the first button I saw and ripped it from its proper place. Listen, I know he's an eccentric, but this is criminal. What? Well, I'd like it back, please. It's troubling me that I can't fasten my jacket. It's very cold in London, you know this. And it's troubling me that you expect me to know where it is. Look at the dwelling. Come on, Naruhodo. You think I know where the button is? You don't know where the button is. So we're equals in that matter. Somewhere on the floor, it mayhaps be. One presumes. Wonderful, you've really narrowed it down. What matters at present time, my dear fellow, is simply whether or not my deduction was unerring. About the surprise?
But Hurley, Bruno said it when he came in, didn't he? I had a surprise this morning.
Oh, did he? I wasn't paying attention. Well, that really is a surprise to me. Somehow better than his original opening. At least he's not like threatening to box us, the first time we wake up. This man is the pride of the British Empire. The famous consulting detective, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. There can't be a single person in the world who doesn't know his name. No kidding. But Iris should be just as popular, I'm just saying.
All right, then. Enough of this silly conversation. Come and eat this bacon before it gets cold. And I have a new herbal tea for you to try. My latest special blend. Oh, my goodness.
And she really needs no introduction at all. Miss Holmes' lodger and companion, Iris Wilson. A truly exceptional young girl who's the author of a highly successful serialization here in London. Yes, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes is published in the Rats magazine. How could we forget? So, Mr. Naruhodo, won't you put us out of your misery? What surprise have you for this morning? I received a letter from Japan.
Oh, from Susie, you mean? Was it really?
Yeah, and she has some rather startling news, in fact. Wait, you read it already? What? Intriguing indeed. Oh, come on then, sit down. Tell us about it over breakfast.
The bacon, it's practically shivering. Oh, but what fun. Let's discuss.
Well, let's check it out. I mean, I want to catch up on what you two been up to in our, extended absence, but that can come later. This is a letter that arrived from Japan this morning, by international post.
Oh, how lovely. Look at Susie's beautiful handwriting. I wish I could read it.
Yes. How was your judicial assistant faring, may I ask? She's well, thank you. In fact, according to what she's written, she actually appeared as a lawyer at the Japanese Supreme Court and won.
Oh, really? Isn't she just wonderful?
I think so, too. A cut above your good self, my dear fellow. Wait, what? Does that mean she's better than me? Huh? I've won cases, too. My record is like I don't know. I guess the boat one wasn't formal, but actually, no, I lost it. No, I got McGill and not guilty. Whatever. I'm good. You know, my record's decent.
Apparently, Mr. Natsume appeared in the trial as a witness.
Oh, him. Natsume. On second thought, I don't recall that name. Of course you do. We helped him twice. Yeah, I've helped lots of people, Mr. Naruhodo. Come on. You think I keep track of them all? Look at the place. I'm a bit scatterbrained if you haven't noticed.
You know, in those 2 trials that took place on Briar Road 6 months ago.
Ah, that narrows it down. The mustache twitchy man with that somewhat penile eyes and mustache.
Feline? He didn't have 2 mustaches, Hurley.
I misread, sorry.
Yes. Who could forget those 2 cases?
They made a very deep impression on me. So deep, in fact. Although I must confess, the details are a little hazy now. If only someone would be a good chap and just recap everyone. Oh, that'd be delightful. A very deep impression, clearly. Alright, so what's the news? So, what's this startling news? I can't dine on my pig if we don't hear it! What's Mr. Sato up to?
Do you remember the case of the haunted lodgings, Mr. Sholmes?
Yes. It's very interesting, you know. I don't feel entirely uncertain that a case of that nature did not occur. Yes.
Dude, come on. How many cases do you solve? He's a wreck.
Anyway, in the letter, as I was trying to say,
Mrs. Sato asked that we read over her case notes again and investigate further.
It took place half a year ago. For what purpose? I refuse. No, I hate redundancy.
Oh, come on. Because of something that Mr. Natsume said to her, apparently. He says that the real reason why she was called back to Japan so suddenly might have something to do with the case of the haunted lodgings. So that the case where that lady got killed by accident by the old biddy, yeah. Yeah, but what? That was just like an accident. We solved it. Natsume went home. It's all chill, right?
Oh.
Mr. Natsume's return to Japan. Mrs. Sato's father questioned him about the case, she says, and something Mr. Natsume said appeared to trouble Professor Mikotoba, prompting him to send that telegram.
Oh, that case, yes. It was very strange, wasn't it?
Yeah. That didn't seem like, I don't know, like a government conspiracy tying the 2 countries together.
And I have compiled the whole story into a nice, neat manuscript ready for publication. Oh, goodness. Into the fire it goes, I guess. Then Hurley here was funny about it, remember? He was so very mean. That story must not be published, he said. Very mysterious.
Really? I said that? Are you sure? I don't recall. Can't tell if he has amnesia or he's just a jerk.
Do you perhaps know something about this as well, Mr. Sholmes? That you're hiding from your very, very close flatmates. I mean, oh goodness, I thought we were good chaps. Why was Mrs. Sato suddenly told 4 months ago that she had to return to Japan?
Who can say, but I'm just gonna keep looking forward. Oh, come on, Mr. Naruhodo. Eat your bacon, and let's change the subject forever. No! Tell me! I'm gonna be a butt about this.
It's been 4 months now since we waved Susie off at the Dover. It was such a shock, wasn't it? The way she just suddenly announced she had to go back.
Yeah, the real shock was getting there and seeing her off. Jesus. Did we ever resolve that? Will that be brought up? I wonder.
Indeed it was. Due to a telegram she received from the homeland, I believe. Yeah. Telling her to return urgently. Yes. Because her father had passed away. Goodness, the poor girl.
No, he was just suffering from a high fever. He didn't die.
Oh, was that all right? But according to this letter, the news about her father's fever was just a ruse.
A ruse? Oh, that's so mean. Well, Susie's daddy lied to her that she'd make the voyage back home. Oh, goodness. Why would he do that?
I have to admit, I have no idea, but she believes it's almost certainly related to the case of the haunted lodgings. This is a heck of a second case. I'm already suckered in. Ooh. Summoning her back to Japan so suddenly like that. I wonder what Mrs. Sato's father is hiding.
Hurley, do you know about it at all?
Oh, you changed fast? Huh? Oh, well, who can say? You can say, you little turd! But you just said, I say a lot of things. Please, I have engagements, my dear fellow. My calendar is quite surprisingly full today. How convenient for me. And a stringent analysis of the matter would be excessive, I feel, even if I were quite at leisure. So, man the fort in my absence, will you, Iris?
Oh, all right. I will, Hurley. Don't worry. See you later.
I'll be off. Farewell. You gosh. He's such a little... There's nobody else like Herlock Sholmes. And he's out of here. Man, I think perhaps Professor Mikotoba isn't the only person hiding something here. So Seki-san was involved in 2 cases, but only one of them was forbidden from being published. By, of all people, Mr. Sholmes.
Aha! I found it at last.
Iris, are they,
The notes about the case. That's right. Susan and I compiled them together. The case of the haunted lodgings. Do you want to read them, Mr. Naruhodo?
Maybe? Absolutely. Thank you, Iris. I have no idea what secrets could be hiding in the shadows of this case. Perhaps if I read over the notes again, something might come to light. Okay, I'm really glad we're doing this because I don't totally remember. I'm going to feel really dumb if this wasn't a case actually in the game. But I feel like it was.
Oh, that's the spirit. Come on. I'll get us some tea ready. Okay.
And so, Iris and I decided to read over the case notes again together. Everything from what happened to our investigation and that fierce battle in court that followed. Reliving every detail. I just need to find a clue. I have all the time in the world. Because, of course, I'm not allowed to practice law right now. Oh! So this is like a flashback. Okay. Because I was about to say, no, I thought Natsumi was only involved in one case. You know, in the apartment. I guess something else went down there. So the game can reuse assets and have another case. You know what? I'm down. It was 6 months ago. A mysterious incident that unfolded on the wintry streets of London. Yeah. Oh, yep, I recall. A young woman was found lying on the snowy pavement, a briar road with a knife in her back. Fortunately, her life was spared, but she was unconscious for several days following the incident. Wasn't there a mystery revolving around her that we just sort of glossed over? I can't remember, but the fog was thick, and nobody saw her attack her. But, by a cruel twist of fate, a visiting Japanese student was walking behind her at the time, and was duly arrested. Oh, let my man out. He didn't do nothing. That man was Soseki-san, and the man who effected his arrest was Mr. Sholmes. Right? But yo, we came in clutch. Dang, I purposely omitted this case from the recap in episode 1. Because I'm like, there's no way it'll be important. And what do you know? I'd never been so wrong. Believing in our compatriot's innocence, Susato and I decided to represent Soseki-san in court. And after a grueling trial of many twists and turns, we finally managed to prove his innocence. The joyful, joyous, jubilant jubilation! He started pelvic thrusting in the Old Bailey. I don't feel that was necessary, but it was the man's reaction after the trial. But his jubilation was short-lived. I guess. Received a telegram from Mr. Sholmes the following morning. The victim of the Briar Road stabbing has regained consciousness. Hey, the Bard said once. Bards? Who they don't? I don't think I've met his acquaintance. So Susato and I summoned a hansom and headed immediately to the hospital. Okay. And we resume from there? Wait, are they like adding a case to the timeline of the first game that we just never experienced? I mean, there is a time gap where that could be the case. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to think anymore. But okay, this is a new case. All right, got it. Ah, there you are at last. Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. How are you? I think not. Wait, what? You're late. What on earth took you so long?
Your telegraph only arrived at 5 o'clock, Mr. Sholmes. And it's a 20-minute ride to the hospital.
That's right. It's 5:30 now. I think we made very good time, in fact. I think not. The time is utterly irrelevant. The fact is, I've been waiting for what felt like an eternity. Sorry? Point of fact, I myself was awoke of 4 this morning by telegram boy, and feeling it was somewhat unjust that I alone had been rousing at such an hour, I sent one of you as well. Well, I can't suffer alone, can I? Naruhodo, come here. Thanks for that. A bunch. Anyway, here you are. So the victim is over there. She only just now regained consciousness. Hello. I'm glad you're alive. That's not a very polite thing to say, I guess. It sounds sarcastic, but I am. You should introduce yourselves, and I shall observe from here. Okay. So that's the lady who was found at the snow-covered pavement, the knife in her back.
Her name is... Ah, yes, here we are. Miss Green.
Okay. Surprisingly not a pun. Listen, you know... we gotta talk about this effing rat. What the... He's just chilling.
A mouse. Mr. Naruhodo, an enormous mouse.
Vermin in a hospital. That doesn't bode well.
It looks like a very healthy specimen, though. It's very plump.
I don't... What? I'm not sure we can say that's down to the excellence of the facility, though, if that's what you're thinking. But, you know, he ain't bothering nobody. Mrs. Green, I mean, she looks mildly upset. I guess. Also, we got... What is this? Like, is that a Venus? This rounded figure isn't the most charming, is it?
I don't think that's a decoration, Mr. Naruhodo. It's an artist's mannequin, I believe. Used when practicing sketching the human body in different poses.
Really? It's not exactly what you call a typical figure, though. Oh.
Well, I suppose not, by definition. I confess I've never seen one quite so full-figured before.
That's the politest way you could put it. If you want to draw a full-figured person, it's the right tool for the job, I guess. Oh, I thought it was going to be something a little more light. Oh god, that sounds like I'm making a pun. No, anyway, Miss Green, hi.
Good morning.
Howdy? Oh, she's a painter!
Hello. I'm, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, from the Empire of Japan. Oh, no! Was it your knife that... Are you the man who...
No. I'm a lawyer. No knives on me. That's probably gonna bite me in the butt one day.
And I'm Miss Susato Mikotoba. It's a pleasure to meet you. Oh, no. Was it your knife, then? Are you the one? Oh, no. I assure you. The only weapons I have are my 2 hands. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant and occasional bodyguard. We had that year regained consciousness and wanted to come give you our best wishes. Best wishes? For me? Oh, thank you. I'm Olive Green. I'm an artist. Well, no, that's not right, is it? What I mean is, I'm trying to be an artist.
Oh, I guess that's her figure.
Well, what I really mean is, I desperately want to be an artist. Oh goodness, I hope you like this around. But the truth is, I don't have any talent. I know I don't. It's no wonder I was stabbed in the back.
I don't think those are correlated, but you're having a tough day, so I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. Wait, I swear I didn't even look at the text. I was looking at the rat.
Gosh, this young woman seems to bend over backwards to put herself down.
Yeah, besides, art is, it's just skill. Hours in, hours out. You can make it. You can make a name for yourself.
I believe in you.
Seeing as we're here, we should ask her about what happened from her perspective, I suppose.
Let's not talk about the, no, let's actually get the bad news out of the way first. It's probably what's like in the front of her mind, right?
To suddenly be struck from the back by a blade as you're walking along the pavement. What a terrible experience you had to endure, Miss Green.
It was so cold that day, and the fog was so thick, I couldn't see a thing. That was 4 days ago now, I think. Is that right? Yes, that's right. I'm afraid you've been comatose for all that time. My condolences. But the case has been solved, hasn't it? While I'm in the hospital, I mean.
Oh, yes, indeed it has, my dear madam, spectacularly by none other than I, Sherlock Holmes.
You shush up, Mr. Sholmes. As you know, it was Mr. Naruhodo's hard work that solved the case.
Was it though? Was it though?
Yes.
Very well then.
Are you yet to hear what happened, Miss Green?
Yes, I'm afraid so. A gentleman from the police force is supposed to be coming to fill in shortly. Oh, I see. Well, me coming round seems to have made everyone frantically busy. I'm so sorry. I should never have regained consciousness. It was so selfish of me. No, Miss Green. We're all so relieved that you're on the mend. Miss Green, we really are.
No, really, please, believe us. I know she's the type to like, la, did I just hear something positive? I'm gonna ignore that. But come on.
With that kind of attitude, maybe her surname should be Blue instead of Green.
Well, anyway, let's move on to something a little happier.
You're an artist, are you, Miss Green?
Oh, no. I could never take that title. I'm just a fledgling artist at best, and I don't even have that going for me. Really, I'm just an imposter. I'm a student of art, really, at the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts. Oh, my, an Academy of Fine Arts? Great Britain is such a wonderful country.
Sounds exciting. Well, hopefully you can get back to your lessons. Tell me, Miss Green, do you live hereabouts?
Oh, no, actually, I don't deserve it, but I have a little flat on Brixton Road.
My heart is getting heavy listening to her. Poor thing. I see. How very interesting.
Oh, no, is it?
Brixton is some 10 stops away on the underground from here, and Thorndike Academy is a mere 3-minute walk from Brixton town center. What are you getting at, Sholmes? Perhaps not. But Briar Road is a far less salubrious part of town by comparison, dwelt in by those inferior means. I don't, what? Including the maleficent Mr. Mustache. Inferior means? I mean, yeah, he's not rolling in dough, but come on. He's an upstart. They have struck me as somewhat out of the ordinary for a young fine arts student to be walking in such a district. That's all. Is now really the time to be grilling her? I don't know.
What's this? She's clammed up.
Oh no.
Mr. Sholmes, you should be ashamed of yourself, prying into a young maiden's private affairs.
Oh, dear me. Oh, forgive me. I just, my mind wanders.
If you don't mind, I'm being discharged shortly, so I need to pack up my things.
Oh, yes, of course. We won't keep you. Thank you very much, Miss Green.
Toodles. Have fun with your, roommate. But not before I go poking my nose where it don't belong.
There are sorts of medicine on the cabinet. Not sure if it's safe leaving them in the reach of everyone like this.
Well, I guess storage is limited.
You're right. I can imagine if you were peckish, you might try a bottle or two.
Oh man, what's the guy gotta do to get some booze around here? Oh, this contains alcohol. Okay, go.
At least there seems to be a little lock to secure the cabinets. If you really want some, though, it probably won't stop you.
I don't imagine that'd stop you if you're hungry. I worry that you'd break the lock.
Hunger doesn't turn me into a criminal, you know. Also, I'm not admitted here. What the? Do I strike you as a savage, Susato? This looks like the treatment notes for whoever's occupying this bed. Let's see. Do not permit to run around the hospital.
Okay. I'll write that down. No zoomies allowed. The patient doesn't seem to be here at the moment.
He or she is probably running around the hospital.
How worrying.
What's worrying is why they haven't discharged the patient yet. What do we got here? Look, there's a photograph in this frame. Oh, I thought it'd be like a portrait. Oh.
It's a picture of a young gentleman.
Looks to be about the same age as Miss Green, I'd say.
Perhaps the young woman's special someone?
Could be.
My, Mr. Naruhodo. I didn't know you had a sense for the matters of the heart.
I mean, well, not in the least. I sincerely said the first thing I thought of. I'm not shipping. I'm not. I mean, I kind of am. Oh, wait, we're supposed to do that? Is that Mr. Naruhodo here? Naruhodo? That's me. Yeah, I'm the lawyer. What's up? Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. Go, this is for you. It's a message from Mr. Saucy Nutsmeg.
What? Mr. Natsumi?
Oh, he sent me a message. Okay.
But why would a policeman be delivering a message for Mr. Natsumi?
Is he in jail again? No! The things I do for cats. What's the Scotland Yard constable doing playing delivery boy? Ah! What are you waiting for? Let me see that!
Well, this is most unexpected.
Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes?
Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes, he says. Have you not seen the thing?
I actually haven't. How could I? You stole it from my hand!
It would seem that London's criminals have no intention of letting the great detective rest.
You're joking, not again.
A new case calls. A case of murder, no less. We must depart.
Oh, a murder?
It's not Sumi.
Call a cab. Time is of the essence.
But the trouble is, if you had to read Mr. Natsumi's note, I was thinking we ought to pay him a visit in the lodgings once we did.
No. That will be entirely convenient.
What? You lost...
Convenient? That's usually a good thing. What do you mean?
It's all here in my note, my dear fellows.
Your note?
The murder we must investigate took place at the Mr. Mustache lodgings.
Again? What on earth? I mean, we kind of already knew that, but...
I'll hear a Fiars at once.
Okay, how many effing words they have for horses in this timeline?
It was only yesterday that Soseki-san was in court. And we were dispelling doubts about his innocence.
And now the very next day? Oh man, he pulled an OJ, bro. There's a murder at the man's own address?
May very well be the unluckiest man alive. Or so it seemed to us at the time. We'll soon discover it was worse than we thought.
Oh, he did this crap. There's like, I mean, he clearly didn't. We get him. Oh my! Who are you? Wait, the Macbeth guy? What on earth?
Oh my! The gentleman is deceased without question. He's dead.
Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Hi, Natsumi.
Oh, why? Why is this happening? Why to me? I've only just got out of court yesterday. I was finally home free after 2 days of misery. And I wake up the next day to these. No early bird should catch a worm like this. Woeful, warm, without wiggle.
Okay. Let's calm down, everybody. Or try to. I don't want to do this again.
It seems you're in high spirits again this morning, Mr. Mustache.
What are you talking about? I'm absolutely not! Not that horrible. Look, Sholmes, show off. Show yourself the door. I never invited you.
And yet I'm here. He's just such an agent of chaos.
You see, Mr. Sholmes came with us. I'm quite sure he'll be able to help you, Mr. Natsume, instead of arresting you like last time.
We'll see about that. I gotta stop ad-libbing. I'm too in character, though. I love this guy. I'm entirely at your disposal, Mr. Mustache. What can I do for you?
Luigi's. And there you are already. You're busybodies, huh?
Oh, Mr. Gregson. What a pleasant surprise. Meeting us so soon.
Pleasant, is it? Gives me a heartburn every time I see your face at that crime scene, Sholmes. I'll be honest with you.
Ah, same to you, my good friend.
What'd you say?
I deduce, Inspector, that your heartburn is actually a result of your excessive consumption of fried food. Wait, how do they get fried food in this era? Like, I don't think the deep fryer is invented yet. I guess I could just get animal oil and just... I don't know, they figured it out. I mean, come on. Fish and chips is like how long has it existed? I'm curious now. Okay, focus. Good morning, Inspector. I was just, wrapped up in your food wrap there.
Yeah, so am I. Get your own, bucko. That's a crime scene. Don't you touch my food. Or don't touch nothing, actually. Yeah.
Good morning to you too, sunshine. Well, we're just hitting the bricks, huh? Oh my god. I like that, though. High tempo. Well, we'll actually just start with, talking to people first. That's kind of my vibe.
What a horrible thing to have happened. It's only been 3 days since I was arrested. Did you know that? 3 whole days!
Yes, I know. I'm sorry. What can I say? The writers of this game love to make him suffer.
And then having finally regained my freedom, it starts happening again. It's happening again. Endless existence of excruciating experiences.
Yeah. I used to kind of like be down on this guy, but when you really reflect on his story, I don't know. Would you react the same way? Probably.
So the victim lives here on the ground floor, and your room is just 1 story up. Is that it?
Yes, that's right. In a way, we were neighbors, I suppose.
So, did you know the victim? Were you friends?
Mr. Naruhodo, does it look like I have friends? I instead have dots. More dots!
What's the matter with him? It's just a simple question. Wasn't it?
Why does he seem so shaken by it?
Well, I suppose he wasn't a complete stranger.
But did he ever invite me to his room?
Never! Oh, my honor, I swear it.
You better not be lying to me.
What an extreme reaction. When he does this, I find it hard to believe him, but you probably wish you'd never asked now. Hadn't you, Mr.
Naruhodo? God dang it. Hey, it sucks for him, but hey, I'll get paid, so I don't give a no.
When we found him here, I felt wretched, which is why I sent word asking for you. Though that inspector...
Through that inspector over there? Through the inspector? What? So you're already here? Is that a big guy? Huh?
So, Inspector, what was the victim's name? Who was he?
Well, that's William Shakespeare?
Shamspeare? Or is that Sham's pear?
He has a lodger here. And you can probably tell he was an actor or something. Bit of a dead loss as it happens, or just now he's just dead,
Mr. Shamspeare.
It was the landlord, old Mr. Giradeb, and the other lodgers. Mr. Natsume, who found him. Fella didn't rise at his usual hour.
So Garrett got word and kicked the door down.
What? Who in their right mind would sleep in on a Sunday? Get on it! Get it!
Yeah, but
Doesn't Mr. Garrideb have a bad leg?
oh yeah, was that established in the first game? I nearly forgot. Yeah, you're right. It's just that jittery Japanese humpback over there who's actually doing the kicking.
Really, so Saseki-san, in those shoes, with that build, kicked down a door. Wow.
The victim was pretty hard up, it seems. Even done some time inside for petty crimes. He had no money, no place to go, and no friends. His only acquaintance were the people in his house. Miserable life. Miserable end.
I mean, is that the time for the analysis? This animation, though. Oh, I missed him. So what exactly is Mr. Natsumi still doing here? He's not involved in the investigation, so shouldn't you have sent him away from the crime scene?
Well, I'm not saying it's because the fellow looks odd or nothing. I mean, that'd be, what is it, xenophobic? It's just he acts suspicious. I thought it'd be prudent to take a statement from the culprit. I mean, the cohabiter.
Oh boy, this again. You nearly said culprit there, Gregson. Oh dear. Mr. Natsumi appears to be under suspicion. Again. I don't know. This is just already exhausting to think about. Certainly seems that way. He does just come across as such an odd fellow, doesn't he? Mr. Naruhodo, he's in earshot. How unfortunate. Poor man.
Anywho, I can't say much until the coroner gets here. Don't think the fella's gonna be a goner that long. Body's still warm. In London. It's friggin' freezing in here, you know what I mean?
The inspector would allow it. I don't think I could bring myself to touch a dead body. Let's say... You! Stop this! Why are you always like this?
It's comic relief, Naruhodo. Kinda keep things too dry, can't we?
Mr. Sholmes, what is it now?
You need only observe to know it, my dear fellow. Investigating. Naturally.
There's nothing natural about your pose, though.
Well, I guess I'll get down.
Mr. Sholmes, have you made some miraculous discovery?
Patience, my dear madam. Patience. We've not been here in the room 5 minutes yet. So far, I've managed to deduce it's what actually happened.
Nothing big, I just solved the crime immediately. What? You? My goodness. Isn't that everything we need to know, Mr. Sholmes?
Well, it's not the secret of the universe, but I suppose it'll do. Now that you propose the idea, I believe one could indeed say that yes, it is what we need to know at present. I have managed to draw two incontrovertible conclusions. The first, that there was a physical struggle here last night, in which the victim fought for his life.
Mr. Natsumi, what's wrong? Is something Mr. Sholmes said startled you?
No, don't mind me. Forget I was here.
All right. Moving on before I was rudely interrupted. My second conclusion is that there was a poison lingering in the air here last night that passed the victim's lips.
Nonsense!
Mr. Natsumi, you have to say hold it before interjecting. All right, Mr. Natsumi, why are you so reacting so extremely to Sholmes' deductions? They're usually wrong, don't you know?
No, please, I'm pretending. Pretend I'm not here.
Invisible, ineffable, incrustable insignificance.
Impossible to ignore. You forgot that part.
You must tell us everything, Mr. Sholmes. Spare no detail.
I don't feel like it.
What if he just did that?
No. Of course, I'll cooperate. Let the theatrical tragedy before us be unraveled by the great deductions presented by your pleasure in 2 acts. 2 acts? What the?
We've heard some truly astounding great deductions before. Another dance so soon? No doubt this will be no exception. What miracles will unfold before our eyes this time?
So, my dear fellows, for your delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. for Sherlock Holmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1.
No dancing? Oh, I guess we'll get to that part. Okay. You already know. And if you don't, you're about to. The cause of death. What was it? Oh, whoa, gosh, this guy.
Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this disconsolate room last night. Foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison. Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate, which contains, you will observe, 1/2 a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful? Indubitably. Why is the soap so purposely upon the dish? Like the victim's Last Supper, in fact. Yes. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the fork reveals the answer.
Wait, so he ate soap because he was starving?
It appears the young man's appetite was his undoing. Taking up arms in the form of his cutlery, the victim engaged in a deadly battle for his life. Yet, the struggle against his hunger was in vain, for in the end he couldn't resist devouring the slippery feast. But London's foul soup is besmirched by foul poison.
Britain's foul soap. The soap is poison.
The victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of the plate. The soap and the lather about the young man's mouth are too perfectly matched to ignore.
Wait, for the first time ever, it seems like Sholmes is right.
The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to excessive ingestion of foul soap. Though personally, I have a greater interest in the taste of foul candle wax, of course.
What? There's a part 2 to this? I think we're all done here. I don't get it. Suicide or murder? I mean, is he really dead?
The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we wander the next question. Was this suicide or murder? The audience will recall the death occurred during the victim's Last Supper, it was. Did the man dine and die alone? This single teacup suggests the answer. Really, who would eat soap and tea at the same time? To draw a conclusion on such meagerage evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. The careful criminal could have absconded with his own cup to cover his tracks. Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow.
No. Not to me. Did you, what?
Indeed. What reveals the answer, of course, is the broken door lock. Though forced open, now, at the time of the incident, this door must have been locked. And the sole key was in the victim's pocket. In other words,
A locked room mystery.
when the victim consumed the poison, he must have been alone. Alone with his inferior soap, from whence wafted a inferior scent.
Since when have you been so high and mighty?
And with the acrid aroma lingering in the air, the victim met his end in tragic solitude. We can take comfort in the only fact that his soul was cleansed on its way to the hereafter.
That's so awful. No possible perpetrator present. How lucky for you, Natsumi.
Thus concludes the final act, Sherlock Holmes' great deduction.
Wait, that would imply it's the last one. Don't be the last one. Come on now. We're just getting started.
There's
Just one thing, Mr. Sholmes.
You are disposed to identify just one thing, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Pray, what concerns you this time?
Or no matter how hungry he was, do you really think the man would have eaten soap?
It's quite apparent that this man had barely a penny to his name. It is a curious thing. But to one's destitute, soap can suddenly appear quite irresistibly appetizing. I mean, I guess. I would have eaten, I don't know, rags before then, I suppose.
Oh, how extraordinary.
It's truth. I have tried a little soap myself in the past. A bad habit it was to break. You've eaten soap? My dear fellow, it was some time ago. My postulation was that it would cleanse my gut.
Well, did it?
As I writhed in agony on the floor and split the contents of my stomach, yes, I believe it truly did. The experience taught me a valuable lesson. Soap is poison. Yeah! It has unpleasant taste, leads to great discomfort. In summary, I don't recommend it. Oh, thank you. Believe me, I wouldn't eat soap even if you did. Huh. I guess I never thought about how toxic it was, especially back then.
There's something that troubles me as well, actually.
Oh? What is it, Sasato?
Mr. Natsumi? If it was a suicide, would he really be acting this way? Oh, goodness. He's doing it again. I couldn't help noticing him shuddering and quivering out of the corner of my eye. It's a bit hard to miss. It's almost as if Sholm's seduction touched on a nerve somehow. No, nonsense!
Well, that clenched teeth episode didn't last long. He's talkative again.
I think judging from Mr. Natsumi's reaction, the great detective's deduction may need some gentle correction in order to reach the actual truth.
What do you want me to do about it? Sholm's observations and deductions are sometimes a little too sharp. That's putting it nicely. He has a tendency to hit the nail on the side of the head and drive it into an obtuse angle. When he does that, it falls to me to straighten things out. But genuinely, this time I think he's made some great points. Alright then, let's see what we can do.
Yes, let's peck out the keywords in Sholm's quite brilliant deduction, and discreetly exchange them for something that makes a little more sense. If we can do that...
Wait, is this a new mechanic?
I'm sure we'll arrive at Mr. Sholmes meant to say in the first place.
In that case, are you ready for the second performance of the day? So much for my final rehearsal. Once again, my dear fellows, for your continued delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Sherlock Holmes' final, for real this time, logic and reasoning spectacular, Act 1. Okay, calm down. No, I don't think this is a new minigame. I guess that's half the fun of, not playing after so long. I get some good surprises waiting for me. Okay. Careful observation, the victim reveals this. The event transpired last night. Okay. From foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison. And there's, a big plate. It's got a bunch of soap. I guess I should, skip over a little bit of this, huh? We just read it after all. Who would eat soap with a fork? That's kind of weird, right? Well, you can't deny that a fork implies the man was eating something, or about to eat something.
Yes, that's true. If I were to decide to eat some soap, I would prefer to have a utensil, or maybe some chopsticks.
And of course, only half the bar of soap is left on the plate.
But might there be some other explanation?
Something material that proves whether or not the man really ate the soap. Well, it doesn't look like there's any cut marks on the soap itself. I don't know. I don't know how you'd even... Depends if you, take the fork and cut, vertically with it. I don't know. It looks like it's just broken off. Oh my gosh! No, they're like a perfect match! There's some soap on the floor! Someone's gonna slip! Mr. Shakespeare must really have loved the stuff.
Let's not jump to conclusions, Naruhodo. That's Mr. Sholmes' whole thing. He'll be very upset if you steal his job. Look closely at the soap. Do you see that it would fit perfectly with the other half of the bar?
How can that be?
I think that there are two halves of the same bar.
Well, there you have it. I think we just present this? Yeah, we're done. Sorry, Mr. Sholmes. I think there's something else going on here. Actually, could it be that the man who was about to eat it? Of course, the other piece of soap reveals the true answer. After all,
in being the other half of the soap on the table. In short, the victim was not eating soap at all.
That it's obviously really for no depths of hunger could ever drive a man to attempt to eat soap. Who would do such a thing? Even I, with my unquenchable thirst for practical knowledge, took only a single bite.
Yeah. But that begs the question, how the man was poisoned because there's no sign of food on the table.
An excellent observation, and one that furnishes us with the answer we seek. For you see, London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Okay, let's just go it again.
So it had to be not the contents of the plate, but the cup. Mr. Sholmes is still pushing the soap argument, even though I kind of disproved it. No, I totally did! With the help of Sasato. Perhaps he's suggesting the man licked the soap rather than ate it? If soap in London is that poisonous, I don't think I want to try washing my hands with it anytime soon. There are no signs of any food in the room at all. Of course, food isn't the only thing that passes people's lips, is it?
Right. Pretty much spells it out for us. No, probably laced the teacup. He drank something. There's even a stain on the, the table. That could have been it too. Ooh!
The victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the teacup.
Ah, indeed. Cups have been the vessel of choice for practicing poisoners over the centuries. And it would appear the victim drank every last drop.
Did he? There's no sign of food anywhere in the room.
Which leads us to the immutable conclusion. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to the ingestion of poison contained in a teacup.
Yeah. So then it can't be suicide then. Dude. Alright, they got a little better at making these opening analyses a little more convincing. I'll say that much.
The cause of death identified. We proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or a murder? The audience will recall the death occurred during the victim's Last Supper.
Did the man die of a single teacup or not? The Western vessel infused with hot drinks again. It's already featured heavily in our deduction so far. It's really the star player here. We can imagine that shortly before his death, Mr. Shamspeare was having a drink of tea. There would be nothing remarkable about that. What troubles me is Mr. Natsume's reaction when he heard Miss Sholmes suggest it. There's more to this deduction than it seems. We must closely examine the scene of the crime again for more clues.
I can do that.
Oh. Mr. Natsume was here with him. No. That's Natsume's teacup. Dude. Oh, it's cracked. Yeah, that definitely belonged to him. Did the man dine and die alone? The other teacup suggests the answer.
Are we just implicating Natsume? Oh my god.
There are two teacups at the room all along. In other words, this is a strong indication that at the victim's Last Supper, a Judas was present. Or a guest. Either way.
At the very least, we can say now with certainty that somebody else was here in the room last night, taking tea with the victim.
What are you talking about?
Utterly, unbelievably, unjust, unreasonable. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. In which case, what more can we deduce about this possible guest at the table? Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow.
Do you mean you know exactly who was at the here at the time of the death of the victim?
Yes, indeed. What reveals that, of course, is the broken law.
I'm not sure I like where this is going. I'm afraid it's too late to back down to the halcyon days of eating too much soap. But the identity of the guest who was in here last night when the victim passed away is something I have a very bad feeling about. Well, you can try to ignore your feelings, but we cannot ignore the truth. Right. Suppose not. If we have to, if Natsume did it, he did it. You know what I mean? What reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. What gives away the identity of last night's visitor? There's an empty bottle. What's up with that? It's empty? Empty of liquid, but full of air. That makes you think, doesn't it?
No. Well, it makes me think you're full of hot air. We should be thinking about who else was in the room that night.
Brother, Susato-san's quips in response was cleverer than my original riddle. Yeah, she's been leveling up. Oh, wait! Glasses! Who do these belong to? Oh, probably the guy that lived here. Because Natsumi doesn't wear glasses. But if we look at the lock itself, what gives?
The latch is most definitely broken. The door's kicked by Mr. Natsume, according to Mr. Geradab.
Who knew his short, thin little legs had so much strength?
I'm not sure you should be talking. I'm not sure the length of his leg is anyway significant here.
Perhaps this says more about the poor state of the door than Mr. Natsume's strength.
Careful, if overheard that remark, he'd most certainly have a lively response.
Yeah, I don't think I want to get kicked next. I don't know, can this broken lock really tell us anything about who did this? Can we see Natsume right now? Oh, we can't, so it has to be like right here. Let's check out the books then. At first glance, it seems that the only thing in the room are the makeshift stage and the costumes. I overlooked these 3 books initially.
I wonder what they are. Let's see the titles.
Wait. Didn't, Natsume love to read? Aw, dump.
The picture of Monsieur Licot, Ken Burney Yearnings, and a meal for Gabbaro.
Wait, I'm sure I've heard these before.
It could just be an incredible coincidence, but all 3? The exact same match as Mr. Natsume purchased the other day.
No. Ah, God. Yeah, that was pivotal in the trial involving him. So Seki-san had just been to the bookshop and bought them.
And those 3 titles are here in the room of the victim. Yet Mr. Natsume claims
They've never been here before. Oh, great. He busts the door down to... Yeah, those are a bunch of familiar books. Unfortunately for us. I thought it was the glasses or the wine or whatever. But the wine bottle will come into play later. Indeed. What reveals the answer, of course, is this very familiar pile of books. Quite so. It's no mere coincidence that these 3 titles are here in this room. It's the link to the truth. Mr. Natsume, you purchased these books 4 days ago at a second-hand bookshop. That's just a coincidence. They're very popular books. In that case, you will be able to bring the same 3 titles from your own room, will you not? This very moment? Well, no, never, non-negotiable. If you can't bring your own copies, it proves that these 3 books are in fact yours. We're done here. Unfortunately for him, having purchased the books 4 days ago and returned to your lodgings, you're arrested the very next day. So, you could conceivably have brought these books here on that evening. But you never mentioned that. You never mentioned being here. What gives? In other words, you could only have brought these 3 books to the victim's room. If he... Did he just dab? Oh my god, he did! Was that really necessary? Last night, having returned to your lodging after the trial concluded at the Old Bailey, you were here. So Seki Natsume. In short, there is only one possible conclusion. No! We said we wouldn't do this! The victim died here in this room last night as a result of poisoning. And that night, the victim had a visitor. And that visitor is... Mr. Naruhodo, please. Right. We'll do it in unison. Was you! So Seki Natsume! Alright, you got me. Thus concludes the final act. Herlock Sholmes' great deduction. You're very welcome. For the,
It's so cruel. So Seki, we said we wouldn't do this, and we just... Those are the facts. And I mean, if he did it, he did it. But we know he didn't do it. I don't... Well, so Seki, what do you have to say for yourself? Okay, that's kind of what I expected.
Not again. Not again. Not again.
What then, Mr. Natsumi? It'll appear you're gonna have to accompany me down to the yard. Again.
But, wait! Hold your horses!
Yeah?
Door, key, locked. Entry, exit, entirely impossible!
He's so flustered, he's being even stranger than normal. No, I mean, he's got a point.
And what is that? Do you think that's an alibi? I could have just made a copy. Come on. You think I'm stupid? We live in the same building after all. You got plenty of opportunity, I'm sure.
But, I misery me!
Sorry, sir. You'll get your chance to give your side of the story later.
The facts speak for themselves, Mr. Mustache.
You horrible Herlock Sholmes!
He really has found himself in an arch villain now, hasn't he? Yeah. Intentional or not.
Come on now, don't dilly-dallying. There's a cash waiting for you, you punk.
Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, please believe me again. I never imagined we'd be in this position again so soon. You have to help me. Please. I'm innocent.
I understand. We'll come to your cell later and talk.
Oh, one more thing.
Yes?
My poor little kitty cat. Please give her the breakfast for me.
Yeah, of course. I can take care of kitty cat. And so, his evil curse still apparently unbroken. So Seki-san found himself once again a prime suspect in a case of murder. Thanks to the incriminating deduction of the great detective. My dear fellow, the honor belongs to you.